Hello, my name is Jesus Gonzalez, and today I'm going to be talking about English for adult learners preparing for the Naturalized Citizenship Test Curriculum project. The program is a language focused curriculum designed for English as a second language for adult learners. It is English for a specific purpose program for the United States Naturalization Citizenship exam. It emphasizes in speaking, reading, and writing for the exam. It emphasizes on tailored learning and community engagement, and it empowers learners in achieving their citizenship goals. The type of learners are adult learners from the age range of 18 to 30 who are false beginners, meaning they were enrolled in an English class but did not finish the course. They are Mexican nationals. Their education is equivalent to a high school degree in Mexico and know few English words. The background of the instructors are they have 20 years of experience teaching English with 5 years of experience specialized in teaching a course in naturalizationship exam, and the skills that they will be focusing on the curriculum is speaking, reading, and writing. The program will be taking place at a community center with the classes being conducted after 5 p.m. to accommodate the learners, with the length of the program being 12 weeks and the class time being 1 hour. The materials provided will be textbooks, handouts, and activity sheets. A need analysis was conducted to determine the reasons as to why the learners wanted to become U.S. citizens and take the naturalization exams. Some of the reasons were to become permanent residents, stability, political participation, employment opportunities, and educational benefits. They also indicated that they wanted to complete the course to get assistance with portions of the exams, which were the English portion, where they must demonstrate the ability to speak, read, and write in English, and the civics portion, where they will be interviewed by a USCIS officer, where they'll be asked 10 questions verbally and must answer 6 correctly. The purpose of the need analysis was conducted to determine the specific English language skills needed and to identify the knowledge needed from learners to pass the U.S. naturalization exam. The data was collected by questionnaires, interviews, and proficiency exams. The outcome of the need analysis determined learners' learning needs and preferences, insight from teachers, insight from subject experts, and developed data-driven decisions to support student success and engagement. The first proficiency exam was a pre-assessment proficiency exam, which tested the learner's ability in speaking, listening, reading, and writing. It was divided into 3 parts: an oral part, in which they briefly introduced themselves around 2 to 3 minutes, spoke in Spanish but were encouraged to talk in English, and were recorded by the teachers. The second part was listening and writing, in which they listened to 4 basic words in a sentence, which they had to write down. And lastly, the third portion was reading and speaking, in which they would try to read aloud one sentence from a selection of 5 sentences. This proficiency exam was used to identify constraints and limitations of the learners and development of curriculum, appropriate materials, activities, and best instructions. Next was the questionnaire, which composed of 4 parts: personal details, learning styles, reasons for taking the course, and difficulties. This was used to identify learning objectives, incorporation of relevant content, and language skills. Next, a post-assessment proficiency exam was conducted at the end of the course to test the student's abilities in listening, speaking, writing, and reading at the end of the course. It focused more with questions related to the U.S. naturalization citizenship exam. It was divided into two parts, listening and speaking, and reading and writing. It was used to identify the assistance for further curriculum development, as in reassessing the course material and activities part of the course. Next, interviews were conducted in person or online, and they were 30-minute length and a week prior before the program began. The participants were teachers, which assisted in determining resources such as computers, textbooks, handouts, and activities, and subject experts to assist with determining challenges such as pronunciation, grammar, and comprehension. The results of the pre-assessment proficiency exam in the speaking portion resulted with 35% of the students introducing themselves in English, but only in simple sentences and vocabulary, such as "My name is Maria, I like to read." 35 of students used both English and Spanish, as in "Me llamo José, I like to cocinar." And lastly, 30% of the students introduced themselves in Spanish only, as in "Mi nombre es Diego y me gusta jugar fútbol." The results of the questionnaire in regards to type of learner were 50% identified as visual learners, 25 identified as hands-on, and 25 identified as mixed learners with a multi-teaching approach. In regards to challenges, 60% indicated lack of confidence in speaking, such as pronunciation, 30% indicated difficulties in spelling and grammar, and 10% struggled with comprehension of foundational rules of English, such as sentence structures. In regards to focus area, 65% wanted to focus on speaking and comprehension, 35 wanted to focus on improving grammar and vocabulary. In mock interviews, 55% showed improvement in fluency in speech and comprehension, 25% show improvement in comprehension but struggle with fluency, and 20% still had difficulty with comprehension and fluency. Interview with teachers identified pronunciation and sentence structure as recurring challenges and recommended using mobile devices and smartphone apps for independent practice. With subject experts, they recommended real world scenarios, mock interviews, and civic practice questions. The aim of the program is to empower students with the English language skills necessary to pass the U.S. naturalization citizenship exam confidently and effectively. The goals are to enhance speaking proficiency, pronunciation accuracy, and confidence in oral communication, improve listening comprehension and ability to respond to questions effectively in English, strengthen foundational grammar and vocabulary to support coherent writing and speaking, develop reading fluency and comprehension for citizenship related materials and beyond, and equip students with strategies and tools for independent language learning and leveraging technology in mobile applications. An evaluation was conducted of the program, and the purpose was to ensure the curriculum is improving English proficiency and readiness for the naturalization exam, assessment of the effectiveness, the curriculum, and how it can be further improved, and the evaluation was conducted by students, teachers, and subject experts. The instruments used on the evaluation were an assessment test for students, such as quizzes, which provided insight to instructors with students' learning progress and determined baseline. Mock interviews, which stimulated real world interactions, testing students' ability to confidence and clarity. And post course survey, which provided insight on student perceptions of the curriculum. For teachers, classroom observations were conducted to assess the instructional material, instructional methods, and student engagement. They also conducted surveys which provided feedback to identify improvement of instructional material or if additional material was needed. It also provided feedback to identify which classroom activities students engaged the most and which ones did not. Subject matter experts provided perspectives of unbiased opinions in interviews and surveys, which provided insight into real world applicability, inform on potential refinements to ensure program is addressing student needs, and insight into aspects of the naturalization exam, such as learner anxiety, challenges for learners, and hands-on learning experiences for activities. After collecting the data, the following insights were concluded. Learners had good reading comprehension, learners had challenges speaking English, and learners were nervous during mock interviews. Potential improvements are provide additional instructional lessons or materials on conversational practice of English and include confidence building activities. Overall, the need analysis found that the program serves highly motivated learners with determination and enthusiasm and distinct challenges with speaking, pronunciation, and grammar. It provides a system approach to ensure a student centered and goal oriented educational experience. It emphasizes in real world applications and mock interviews, dictation exercises, material from the naturalization exam, and the curriculum is structured around a mix of learning styles using blended PowerPoint presentations with interactive games and listening exercises. Overall, the evaluation ensured the curriculum is relative and responsive to learners' needs. It allowed teachers to provide first-hand feedback, and it allowed to measure success and provide meaningful enhancements to ensure long-term effectiveness and maximum student achievement.